Boyle. I'm nearly 48, currently unemployed but still looking, and I'm going to sing for you on Britain's Got Talent.
Susan Boyle's remarkable rise began with a stunning performance on Britain's Got Talent that captivated audiences worldwide. Her powerful voice not only brought her widespread acclaim but also led to her winning America's Got Talent, the champions, and amassing a fortune exceeding $45 million. Despite these significant achievements, Susan chose to step away from the limelight, preferring a quieter, more private life. Yet her departure from public life has left many curious. What prompted her sudden retreat? Let's delve into the surprising and pressing reasons behind Susan Boyle's decision to step back. Susan Boyle is a powerful reminder of why appearances should never define our judgments. Born on April 1, 1961, in Blackburn, Scotland, she was the youngest of 11 children, raised in a modest household in West Lothian, Scotland. Her father, Patrick Boyle, a miner with a passion for singing, and her mother, Bridget Boyle, a shorthand typist, instilled in her the values of humility and resilience. Susan still resides in her childhood home to this day. Her early years were marked by challenges in school, where she struggled academically and often felt isolated. However, music became her sanctuary. She found joy in singing, performing in her church choir, and participating in local talent contests. Her mother, recognizing Susan's deep passion for music, encouraged her to audition for Britain's Got Talent. Initially hesitant, especially because of her age when the show began in 2004, Susan finally auditioned in 2008 after her mother's death in 2007, taking a courageous step by trying out in Glasgow. Her rendition of I Dreamed a Dream from Les Miserables was a defining moment. The performance stunned the audience and judges alike, earning her a standing ovation and changing her life overnight. Her emotive singing challenged preconceived notions about her appearance and background, drawing support from celebrities like Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher. The audition became one of the most-watched videos on YouTube at the time, firmly establishing Susan as a global sensation. Though she didn't win the competition, finishing as a runner-up, her career soared. She toured with fellow contestants and quickly began working on her debut album, released in November 2009. It shattered records, becoming the fastest-selling debut album by a female artist worldwide and selling over 2 million copies in its first week. Susan's path to stardom was anything but easy. As the youngest of a large family, her birth was complicated by a brief deprivation of oxygen, leading to learning disabilities that profoundly shaped her early years. School was an especially harsh environment where she endured relentless bullying from peers and teachers. Nicknamed Susie Simple, she faced constant ridicule that left a lasting impact on her education and self-esteem. Yet her performance on Britain's Got Talent was more than a career breakthrough. It was her chance to defy skeptics and prove her worth. Her song, You'll See, became an anthem of resilience, symbolizing her triumph over those who doubted her abilities. In 2011, Susan shared details of her struggles with epilepsy and an undiagnosed learning disorder. Despite medical recognition of her conditions, support was inconsistent. Misunderstandings about her epilepsy, compounded by inadequate care, exacerbated her challenges at school. Her seizures often subjected her to ridicule, and at home, her family's responses ranged from overprotection to neglect. Her father's dismissive attitude, labeling her as touchy, left her feeling unsupported. Tragically, many assumed her seizures were symptoms of her learning difficulties, depriving her of proper medical intervention. These challenges left her with limited qualifications, making it difficult to secure stable employment. She briefly worked as a trainee cook but cycled through various government training programs without success. Despite these adversities, Susan found solace in singing at local venues, her only outlet for her musical aspirations. Raised with values of forgiveness and humility, Susan led a modest life and famously remarked during her Britain's Got Talent audition that she had never been kissed. After her father's death, Susan cared for her aging mother alone while her siblings moved out. Her only companion during this period was her cat, Pebbles. Even after achieving fame and wealth, she chose to remain in her childhood home, cherishing the simplicity of her earlier life. Following her mother's death, Susan withdrew from the world, isolating herself for several days, grappling with grief and uncertainty about her future. Despite her challenges, Susan's life has continued in a quiet, devout manner. A committed Roman Catholic, Susan Boyle actively participates in her church choir and volunteers to visit the elderly in her community. Before her rise to fame, Susan described her life as ordinary and routine. In a 2010 interview on The Oprah Winfrey Show and a 2013 BBC interview, she revealed her diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome, shedding light on yet another facet of her complex personal journey. Susan Boyle's life story is a testament to resilience, courage, and the enduring power of self-belief. In a November 2012 interview, Susan humorously reflected on the risky outcomes of online dating. By July 2013, she supported the Better Together campaign for the 2014 Scottish independence referendum. While expressing pride in her Scottish heritage, she clarified that she did not consider herself a nationalist and favored unity. Furthermore, Susan maintains a sober lifestyle and manages type 2 diabetes, diagnosed in June 2013. Her journey is one of resilience and optimism, navigating through personal and health challenges with strength and a positive spirit. However, as this chapter of her life closed, unknown to all, more formidable obstacles lay ahead. In November 2014, it was revealed that Susan Boyle was in a romantic relationship with a man who claimed to be her first boyfriend, much to the surprise of her fans considering their similar ages. Fast forward to 2022, Susan faced a significant health issue when she suffered a minor stroke. She openly discussed this incident in June 2023 following a performance on Britain's Got Talent, which sparked curiosity about her choice to continue living in her childhood home despite her widespread fame and accomplishments. Susan Boyle's story is marked by profound transformation. She came from modest beginnings and was initially underestimated due to her simple style and unassuming demeanor. However, her audition for Britain's Got Talent showcased her exceptional vocal talent, silencing skeptics and changing her life forever. The contrast between her early struggles with bullying and the acclaim she later received on stage was dramatic. Her audition video went viral, amassing over 100 million views within a week, and even her earlier rendition of Crimea River from 1999 gained newfound popularity online. Yet this was not her most formidable challenge. Throughout the competition, Susan contended with illness and fatigue, but her resolve remained unshaken. She finished as a runner-up to the dance group Diversity, but her true triumph lay in her courage to perform. Her passionate performances and resilience inspired many, including policymakers, to reconsider the value of pursuing dreams at any age. Her debut album, I Dreamed a Dream, released in November 2009, was a monumental success. It shattered sales records, becoming one of the fastest-selling debut albums by a female artist, selling over 2 million copies globally in its first week. In the UK, it set a new precedent as the most pre-ordered album on Amazon and was later recognized as the world's best-selling album of that year, with Billboard highlighting its record-breaking first-week sales, a feat not seen since the early 1990s. However, this was not the pinnacle of Susan's achievements. After her debut, she secured several Guinness World Records, including for the fastest-selling debut album by a female artist and the highest first-week sales. She also became the oldest person to debut at #1 with an album in the UK. Her powerful voice and personal story resonated deeply in the United States, where she was warmly received on programs like America's Got Talent. The days when Susan was undervalued were behind her, and she fully embraced her new circumstances, taking control of her narrative and savoring every moment of her success. Following the success of I Dreamed a Dream, she released several more albums. The Gift in 2010, Someone to Watch Over Me in 2011, Standing Ovation, The Greatest Songs from the Stage in 2012, Hope in 2014, and A Wonderful World in 2016. Despite her global success, Susan remained grounded in her roots. Her decision to continue living in her childhood home is a testament to her character. With the means to live anywhere, she chose to stay connected to her origins, valuing the simplicity and familiarity of her upbringing. This choice speaks volumes about her attachment to her birthplace and the uncomplicated life she cherishes. Susan's music career saw a turning point when she made the decision to temporarily step away from the industry. Facing aging and ongoing health challenges, she realized the importance of prioritizing her well-being over her professional commitments. This hiatus sparked speculation among her fans and the media. The audience wondered if Susan Boyle had sung her last note. However, in a delightful turn of events, Susan returned in 2019 with a new album titled 10, commemorating a decade of her extraordinary contributions to music. This compilation featured some of her most memorable tracks and showcased her enduring influence in the music scene. Despite this achievement, there was a tone of melancholy in her return. Her devoted followers noticed a difference in her demeanor, attributed to her health struggles. With a wealth of talent and experience still within her, Susan chose to step back from public view and lead a more peaceful life. Susan's decision to retreat from the limelight was not merely an escape from fame. Her narrative is profoundly heartfelt, more than it may appear on the surface. She once expressed great joy in creating her album and hoped it would resonate deeply with her listeners. For those who thought they fully understood Susan Boyle's career, a closer examination of her personal battles and triumphs might fundamentally alter their perspective. Susan's celebrity status was cemented following her appearance on Britain's Got Talent, which introduced her to audiences worldwide. However, the relentless schedule that ensued, filled with continuous rehearsals, pervasive media scrutiny, and the constant demand to maintain a flawless appearance, gradually took its toll on her. Despite widespread adoration, not securing the top spot in the contest, coupled with incessant scrutiny and criticism, proved extremely difficult to manage. The most challenging times were still ahead. Following the conclusion of the show, Susan's health deteriorated to the point that immediate hospitalization was necessary. It became public that she had suffered a significant emotional and physical collapse. The immense pressure from her participation in the show, compounded by inadequate support during the crucial final voting, overwhelmed her completely. Incidents were reported where she clashed with a staff member, underscoring the intense stress she was under. On the same evening, concerned behaviors exhibited at her residence in London prompted her staff to contact the police, leading to her subsequent admission to a mental health care facility. The news of her breakdown rapidly became a topic of public discourse, igniting a debate on whether reality TV shows like Britain's Got Talent prioritize ratings over the welfare of their participants. It was disclosed that the production team had neglected Susan's mental and physical health leading up to the finale, sparking discussions about the possibility of an Ofcom investigation into the show's practices. Although no formal inquiry was pursued, the ordeal was a profound learning experience for Susan, underscoring the importance of maintaining health alongside her career. Yet, just as we believed we understood her completely, an unexpected discovery surfaced, illuminating her battles and enduring spirit. In 2013, a pivotal moment unfolded in Susan Boyle's life when she received a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome, an autism spectrum disorder, after years of being mislabeled as having brain damage due to a birth complication. This revelation provided both a sense of relief and a tinge of sadness. Relief in finally understanding the underlying cause of her lifelong challenges, and sadness from the years spent living under an inaccurate label. This diagnosis marked a transformative point for Susan, illuminating her past struggles in a different light and initiating a path toward appropriate support and understanding. Reflecting on her school experiences, Susan recalled always feeling out of place and disadvantaged, struggling academically and socially, which contributed to a pervasive sense of isolation. The formal diagnosis gave a name and context to her struggles, alleviating personal blame and reshaping her self-perception. In a heartfelt interview with The Guardian, Susan expressed the deep pain caused by the incorrect brain damage label and shared her hopes that her openness would foster greater empathy and understanding toward individuals with neurological conditions. However, the challenges didn't cease with this diagnosis. That same year, Susan was also diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, necessitating significant lifestyle adjustments, including relinquishing her beloved chocolate. Managing diabetes proved demanding for Susan, especially as she grappled with her new understanding of her neurological condition. The arrival of the COVID-19 pandemic further complicated her life. For over 2 years, necessary isolation to safeguard her health meant a halt to her music career, preventing collaboration and new music production, significantly setting back her professional endeavors. Yet, personal adversities also mounted during this period. In 2010, after purchasing a new home with her earnings, Susan faced harassment from local vandals who attacked her property. This hostility forced her to abandon her new home and return to her childhood residence, subsequently passing the new house to her niece. During this tumultuous time, she also mourned the loss of her sister, Bree, a stalwart support who died of cancer at age 73, deepening Susan's emotional and caregiving burdens. Family tensions escalated as well, particularly after Susan financially assisted her brother Jerry to rescue his business, a gesture that inadvertently stirred feelings of neglect among other siblings. The situation deteriorated when Jerry publicly accused Susan of lying about his suicidal threats, further straining their relationship. Nonetheless, a ray of hope emerged from adversity when a public breakdown at Heathrow Airport in 2016 unexpectedly catalyzed a reconciliation with her siblings, fostering familial healing. Despite ongoing health challenges, including a minor stroke in May 2022 that complicated her ability to pursue music. Susan bravely returned to perform with a West End cast of Les Miserables, openly sharing her trials and achievements. Susan's musical passion continues to burn brightly, albeit as she now opts for a more secluded lifestyle. Recently, she voiced one of her profound regrets, never having children. Nevertheless, she finds happiness in a private relationship with an American whose identity she keeps out of the public eye but who supports her during significant life moments. Through every hardship and triumph, Susan Boyle demonstrates remarkable resilience. Her narrative transcends her musical accomplishments, highlighting her enduring strength and commitment to her values in the face of life's numerous challenges. Her journey powerfully underscores the indomitable spirit of the human world. Now, let's take a look at Simon Cowell's perspective on Susan and the angelic charisma she exudes. Simon Cowell talked about Susan Boyle's surprising journey to fame, emphasizing how different she is from many others who become famous without much talent. He pointed out that many people in the entertainment world are known more for their presence than for any real skill. But Susan stands out as someone who didn't chase fame. She simply wanted to share her singing with the world. Simon clearly remembers her first audition. It had been a long day with many performances, most of which didn't leave much of an impression. Feeling tired and not in the best mood, Simon wasn't expecting anything special from the next person on stage. When Susan walked out, her awkwardness made him think she might be just another forgettable act. The audience didn't seem very interested either, and Simon braced himself for what he thought would be a brief, unremarkable performance. However, the moment Susan started singing, everything changed. Her voice was so rich and clear that it immediately grabbed everyone's attention. Simon's initial doubts quickly turned into amazement. It was a powerful reminder that incredible talent can come from the most unexpected places. This moment wasn't just significant in the audition room. It quickly spread across the world. When her audition aired, it became an instant sensation. Simon was in Los Angeles at the time and noticed that Susan's performance was on every TV channel. Everyone was talking about her. She went from being a relatively unknown woman from a small Scottish village to an international star almost overnight. People everywhere were captivated by her voice and her story. As Simon reflected on her sudden fame, he recalled how it deeply affected her. There were stories about how she struggled to adjust to her new life, including a moment in New York where she appeared overwhelmed. However, these weren't signs of a breakdown. Rather, they were moments of realization for Susan, realizing just how much people loved her, especially in the United States. In fact, some fans even made a quilt for her, which touched her deeply, showing the strong bond she had created with her audience. Susan Boyle managed to handle her rise to fame with grace despite the sudden pressures. This experience demonstrated not only the power of true talent but also the intense personal changes that come with becoming famous. Simon Cowell expressed his admiration for the way Susan's career unfolded, noting that no one could have predicted how significant an impact she would have on the music industry and on people all over the world. However, this wasn't just a story about an unexpected audition or quick fame. Simon concluded that Susan's journey was truly about her authenticity and resilience. Her transition from a quiet life to global recognition was a testament to her strength and to the universal appeal of genuine talent. As her story continues, it serves as a powerful example of how music can touch people deeply and completely change someone's life. What do you think? Was Susan's rapid rise to fame more beneficial or harmful to her personal well-being? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more discussions like this.